This is Getting On with Life, Biblical Wisdom for Successful Christian Living. And this lesson is Rebel Wife. I want to reflect here on inconsistency. I chose the Rebel Wife title since that might tempt you to check this lesson. And I will deal with wives, but various other things as well. So follow me in this important discussion. We have a preferred idea of how things are, but that might differ quite significantly from reality. So in truth, we may very well live with a form of self-delusion. It's the gap between what we think is real and what actually exists. We may live a lie without thinking about it. Here are some examples. A child feels safe in the arms of a parent, yet that feeling is an illusion of safety. Many a child has been injured despite being with or protected by a parent. At times, the parent is the source of danger to a child. We feel a sense of well-being when we are fed and rested. However, our true circumstances have not changed from earlier, when we were tired and hungry. We only have a perception that things have changed. Many a Christian home looks fine on the outside, with the impression of a loving father, devoted wife, and obedient children. But is that the reality in many homes? The tradition is that families put on their best appearance when at church or in public. By these self-deceptions, people often develop a double life, where they tell a story of their noble values on the one hand and live out much baser values in practice. They can protest their obedience, submission, love, care, and devotion while not really doing those things. To stay true to my title, let's look at the rebel wife. Ancient proverbs lament that a truly noble woman was very hard to find. King Solomon knew women have personal hopes and dreams they give priority to, rather than just being a helper to their husband. Proverbs 31:10 says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies." A virtuous wife will be truly devoted to her husband and support him in loving ways. As Proverbs 31:12 says, "She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life." Contrast that with Solomon's discussions of a wife nagging her husband and it being better to live apart from such a woman. That's Proverbs 21:9. "It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house." The wife who is not virtuous is a rebel wife in two ways. One, by not being a wife to her husband. Solomon says a wife is a good thing, not one you hide from. Proverbs 18:22, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." And she is being a rebel wife because she is rebelling against God. She is not being who God made her to be, a helper for the man, submitted to him. Yet our culture argues that women should be equal to the husband and so just as much in control as he is. I find Christian women agree that a wife is to submit to her husband, but often don't do so. So they are being inconsistent, not matching their ideas with how they live them out. However, many an elected leader acts without caring for the people who elected them. This is democracy gone bad. Many a man of God lives for personal ambition or selfish gain. Many a child knows how to get around the authority of parents. I use the rebel wife example only to highlight what is widespread in today's world. People say the right things and may believe they live by them, but theory and practice are miles apart. We can chant our high ideals and not realize we are living by such low ones. Christians can leave church feeling God is pleased with them without any idea of what God truly thinks of their empty claims, worldly lives, compromised values, lack of faith, addiction to this world and its evils, etc. Yet the Christians feel good in their ignorance. How do we catch ourselves out in such hypocrisy? We need eyes to see and ears to hear. Or we end up like the Pharisees of Jesus' day, who Jesus described as whitewashed tombs, looking good on the outside but full of dead men's bones. That's from Matthew 23:27. We have to stop believing our own claims about ourselves. We can be like the actor who thinks he is as heroic as the character he plays, when his only skill is to look the part. Or the politician who believes the glowing reports his own people write about him. What if we are selfish, cold-hearted, faithless, proud, blind, deceived, and trapped? How would we ever know? If we were shown that truth about ourselves, would we accept it or deny it? What will it take for God to get through to you if you are completely deluded? The best thing we can do is humble ourselves before God and invite Him to tell us the truth about us and how He sees us. God is loving, so He can expose what is evil in us while also showing us hope through repentance and forgiveness. Are you a rebel wife, or rebellious son, or selfish husband, or fake worshipper, or abuser of your position of trust and power, or deceived about how good you are, or blind to the rottenness of the world around you? You may be any or many of those things and not realize it. Lord, deliver us from blindness and deception. Open our eyes to see the truth and our hearts to accept it. Open us to deliverance and freedom and transformation until we become like Christ. Set us free from all that blinds us and binds us. Friends, remember this lesson about dealing with inconsistency and find the truth that sets you free. Be real in every expression of your life, living in truth and not living a deceived life like that rebel wife. God bless you.